Thomas Elliott, and this is
Agata Guskaroska.
And our study is called Digital Tools for Diaspora Language Maintenance for Young Children in English-Speaking Countries, an exploratory study of the Macedonian language. Language maintenance is an increasingly important issue as migration and intercultural contact put less privileged or less powerful languages at a risk of disappearance. New technologies offer possibilities for diaspora language maintenance, but are adequate resources currently available? What are the attitudes and feelings of diaspora members about this situation? This study will provide an overview of the existing call tools for preserving the Macedonian language, identify unexplored avenues for development, and suggest possible solutions for minority language maintenance. Our study references Gonzo and Saltarelli's cascade model, which shows how minority L1 attrition builds over generations, resulting in language loss. We also reference Norton's investment theory, asking what value do families place in maintaining their heritage language, and how is this affected by their social environment. And finally, we reference Borges, Giles, and Rosenthal's subjective validity questionnaire model in our design of our questionnaire. Our study has two research questions. First, what are the digital tools available and currently used by parents to preserve their children's native language? And second, what are the preferred tools for language maintenance and why?
As for methodology, the participants in this study were 23 parents who are members of Macedonian diaspora communities in the USA, Canada, Australia, and other English-speaking countries. The instruments used for this study consisted of online anonymous survey posted on social media, providing linguistic background for the participants and their families and their experience and attitudes with digital tools for learning the Macedonian language. Follow-up interviews with participants where the questions were discussed into more details, document analysis, which comprised of an extensive internet research to confirm the participants' claim on the existing tools and to explore other available tools for language maintenance. The results of the linguistic background study survey showed that most families speak Macedonian at home, but it does not always help children with language maintenance because they are exposed to English 30 to 40 hours a week, and they interact with English native-speaking friends. Regardless, parents showed strong motivation and efforts to preserve the language, but they lack resources. 73.9% of children understand both Macedonian and English, whereas 63% of children can speak but not read their L1, possibly due to the use of conversation for language maintenance. So to answer the first research question, what are the digital tools available and currently used by parents to preserve the children's native language? We got the following results. Methods for language maintenance. 95.5% of participants use conversation as their primary method of language maintenance. 40.9% of participants used books as their other methods of language maintenance, and other methods of language maintenance were technology-based resources, 18%, Macedonian schools and TV, 9%, and church, as was also mentioned as a possible resource, and that was 4.5%. The results from the survey show that 80% of the participants do not use any educational games or apps, mostly because they are not familiar with such resources. So, what are the digital tools available for language maintenance? The respondents that claimed they used Macedonian educational games or apps named only one existing tool, which has recently become available on Google's Play Store. It is titled Šarena azbuka, or in translation, Colorful Alphabet. That was an engaging and useful resource for learning the Macedonian letters and the Cyrillic alphabet, but it is not available for Apple users. Other resources included outdated YouTube videos, not appealing enough to attract youngsters' attention. That was the conclusion made according to the survey and follow-up interviews. The research question number 2 was, what are the preferred tools for language maintenance and why? So preference was given to educational apps. 66.7% of participants chose educational apps as their preferred tool for language maintenance, mostly due to the educational nature and perceptions that these tools present a true learning environment for their children. Ebooks was the less preferred option because it was described as less exciting by participants. In general, parents prefer more interactive tools, which include activities for children. So, our suggestions for further development of language maintenance technology and media are the following: mobile games and apps, ebooks for learning the Macedonian language and culture, YouTube channel with songs and chants for alphabet vocabulary learning, a website gathering all the resources in one publicly accessible place, a Facebook page or group for facilitating, sharing, bringing communities together, and introducing users to the resources.
Our conclusions show that this study explored the existing digital tools for diaspora language maintenance for young children in English-speaking countries. We found that diaspora parents expressed a strong desire to pass on their heritage language to their children. However, findings revealed that the current situation in the field is critical, with only one existing tool and a few outdated, unappealing YouTube videos available. Implications. New generations living in English-speaking countries are very likely to lose their L1 in connection to their culture while being faced with identity issues during the process of integration in the new environment. Newly created call tools need to be creative, interactive, visually attractive, and mobile in order to aid access and keep young learners' attention.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.